better not have no plans tonight.
Movie time and it's feeling right.
You're looking for a love that lasts. You'll find it at Romancing the Podcast. Ooh, ooh, baby, you had me at hello. Ooh, I love you.
I know.
Ooh, ooh, baby, you're the wind beneath my wings. Ooh, ah, I'll have what she's having.
Thank you for tuning into Romancing the Pod. You had us at hello. I'm Paige Wesley.
And I'm Todd Schlosser, and this week, Paige, I'm saying you made us watch
Yep.
Beastly.
Beastly.
So, Paige, dear God, why?
I'd never seen this before. I knew it was bad. I did know it was bad. Remember last week when I was like, this is going to be the worst one of the series? I knew it.
You did say that, yes. Yeah. I mean, this, and honestly, I was looking forward to it because you said that.
Right.
And I was right to be looking forward to it because you said that. Because it is so much fun in how terrible it is.
Yes. It is so bad in such hilarious ways.
Yes. Paige, there's a main character in this movie who, in every scene, demands everyone see and treat him as a blind person, but he could fully see.
Oh.
We see him many times. He plays darts. He, keeps eye lines with people. Have you ever seen, a blind person ever in life? That's not a thing.
It depends on their kind of blindness, but yes, I would agree with you.
That's fair, yeah. But he's positioned as full-ass blind. Cannot see at all. And then he's playing darts well. Is he Daredevil? I guess he is in New York. This might be Daredevil. Hang on one
He
second.
might be Daredevil.
Is the NPH Daredevil?
My favorite part about NPH's portrayal in this film, and by favorite, I mean it's awful, it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't like that the movie treats being blind as a curse. I think that's crazy. But the movie does that.
See, okay, Paige, at the end, when the witch cures him, quote unquote, I just was like, oh, now he has no longer has to pretend he's blind, I guess, because he's fully not blind the whole movie.
I realize what Todd is saying may sound insensitive if you've not seen this movie.
No, watch it. The portrayal is insensitive. That's what I'm pointing out.
Yes.
100%.
To watch this movie is to watch Neil Patrick Harris remember halfway through each scene that he is supposed to be portraying a character who is blind.
Yes.
And for then him to immediately abandon an eye line. It's halfway, the dart scene in particular, where it's literally not until Alex Pettyfer grabs the darts, turns around and hands them back that Neil Patrick Harris is looking in a different direction.
Right. He's looking directly at the dartboard the entire first half of that scene.
Right.
It truly is like Neil Patrick Harris walked in and was like, I don't want to play it blind. And the director was like, I don't care, but you can't change the words. Because there's no reverence paid to that disability at all. And then it is treated like it's well, thank God a witch cured it. It's it's wild. Yes. It's really wild.
It is crazy. This movie, 'cause, like I said, this is the first time I'd ever sat all the way through it because this movie exists in a collection of movies where Todd and I are millennials, but we are elder millennials, right?
Yeah.
And this and High School Musical and even Twilight, because Twilight came out when I was in college.
There's no way this dude wasn't an extra in Twilight because he acts like it.
He's not, but he is in Magic Mike, the first one that we have not done. But
okay.
This movie and all those movies around it came out in high school after we were out of high school, right? We were already in college or after college even. This came out the year I graduated college.
Yeah, I was on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is little after college for me, yeah.
So we missed these ones. These ones were not part of our millennial experience. But for people slightly younger than us, even just a few years younger than us, these were a big deal. There's a creator I follow on YouTube that does movie breakdowns much like we do, but I actually just really like the way they talk through. They have done Twilight and 365 and a few others. If you're curious, go look at Amanda the Jedi. But I had watched their breakdown of this knowing we were going to do it and was like, there's no way everything she's saying in this movie is in this movie. And then we watched it and I was like, good Lord, it's worse. Somehow it's worse.
Yeah. The lady who plays like the Jamaican, I guess, housekeeper lady is like,
oh God,
just got to be walking around like, what the fuck movie am I in? Because she's like doing a great job the whole movie.
Yes.
Like she is doing a wonderful job acting and like playing this character, and everyone around her is a caricature of like silly.
But the movie treats her like a character. This movie is racist, by the way.
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying that she is a good actress.
At one point, she's like, my husband made me baskets as gifts. And I'm like, that'd be cute if I didn't think the movie was trying to make them sound like
backwoods, like, yeah,
like not cosmopolitan.
Like Jamaica doesn't have a city.
Right.
Yeah.
But even crazier than that, the craziest part of this is that we find out that like many people who have immigrated to America, she could not bring her entire family because our laws for becoming a citizen are very difficult. And so she has been separated from her children for some time.
Yeah. 5 years.
5 years. He wishes, he bargains with the witch to be like, if I do my thing, you have to help her. And at that point, I lost my damn mind because we've established that he is like mind-blowingly rich because his dad is a local news anchor, which does not pay that well, but whatever.
Well, I don't think he's a local news anchor. They're in New York City. He's probably like a national news anchor somewhere, which
it has to, even that doesn't pay that well, but like
I was going to say, when we go to that lake house or whatever,
bonkers.
It's literally one of the houses they use in The Aviator. Like it's like that level of wealth, which is not what like a CNN, Fox News or whatever like national news broadcaster would make. They make a lot of money. It's not that a lot of money. Yeah.
But not like that. Especially not in New York, right? So like that's ridiculous on one level.
Right.
But the movie sets up that this person is like fuck you money wealthy.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's not just like, I don't know, giving her 2 weeks off and buying her a ticket to Jamaica or hiring an immigration lawyer to try and help bring her family here. He has money to do it. He could do all these things.
I know. If it would mean nothing to me, like from a financial standpoint, like if I could fly my housekeeper down to see her kids who she hasn't seen for 5 years, and like it would cost thousands and thousands of dollars, but I have so much money I wouldn't even notice that, I would totally do that. Like, why not? That's crazy.
It wouldn't even cost thousands.
Well, I mean, this movie is just like so much in it doesn't make any sense at all. Like if you know and understand the world. Like at one point I wrote in my notes, this is like a young adult novel for people who can't read. Because it's like it's so disconnected from what the world is like.
I do think it is based on a book. I am confirming that right now.
Paige, the book is Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
No, like it's based on its own young adult book.
Okay.
Yeah, that only came out a few years before this movie did. So they did not have a ton of time to marinate on it, but...
Oh, Paige, this movie did make me think that I wish I had a twin. Like, because think about it, Paige. If I had a twin, I definitely would have been cast on a world famous like TV show as a baby, and then I would just keep it quiet, right? So like no one knows I have a twin. And then, you get old enough and you can just like work half the time and still make shitloads of money. Like I wish I was an Olsen twin.
Right?
Must be nice. Except for all like the harassment they go through all the time. But like the money and stuff would be nice. They also don't work half the time. The joke is that I would be like prestiging my job.
Right.
Which
right.
like if you have an identical twin, just like switch it up at work one day.
Yeah, why aren't you doing fake bullet catches and carrying giant fish bowls around?
Hey, I'm Dr. Gemini. I'll be performing your surgery today. You're here for a tonsillectomy?
Okay, I just Googled something.
Please.
I want you to guess how much a flight from New York to Kingston, Jamaica is.
Oh, man. I bet, Paige, honestly, if you're like a few months out or whatever, you're like planning for this trip.
Sure.
$400. I doubt it's that expensive.
$429.
Paige, I fly all the time. I don't fly to Jamaica all the time, but I fly all the time.
No.
Yeah.
But that's what I was when I was like, why don't you just fly her to Jamaica?
I literally am flying Tuesday.
We also know that he's got got his dad's credit card. Like, she could have been in Jamaica this whole time. Oh, God.
They probably have a private plane with the amount of money they have. Like, that's the amount of wealth they're depicted having.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It really is crazy, Paige.
It's so crazy. And yes, this is based on young adult books. So in Fun Facts, we'll cover some of the differences between them. But this does feel like it's written by a young adult imagining what the world is like.
We've talked about this sort of framing a lot because it's pretty common in these types of movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. But this movie also did something that we've only seen one other time on this podcast, and I laughed about it the last time, but we have not seen a movie make this mistake in quite some time. The last movie to do it was Redeeming Love.
I have no memory of Redeeming Love, but I can't wait to hear what this is.
You are going to remember this critique because we laughed about it for a bit. Where they didn't scale their city sets properly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I remember what Redeeming Love was.
Yeah, where Redeeming Love looks like it's just a city made of tough sheds, but it's like then suddenly they're on the second story of a building.
Yes.
This one, they're clearly shot on a backlot, but it was clearly not the main New York backlot. And it's like their school that seems to be on the same block as like a Dwayne Reed and an Aubon Pant, whatever. But the cars are half the height of the stores.
Yeah.
Because clearly this is a part of the backlot that's meant to be far away so you don't notice how small it is.
It was when they were on the roof one time that Natalie said, they're just on like Warner Brothers backlot right now. And it's like 100%. So clear.
They roomed it where they just used the like rooftop room set from the room. But the like actual city set where he's like walking, but only at the end of the movie. There are parts where they're like walking around on the sidewalk and it's shot probably in Los Angeles and like really it doesn't look bad. But at the end of the movie where their school is, I guess, just randomly in the middle of New York, they're on the wrong part of the backlot. And so Alex Pettyfer is like taller than the building.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening?
I do want to point out, though, that Paige, New York City has like tons of schools in it. Like they have schools in New York City.
Oh, no, I know. But I mean,
I realize that they're definitely on a set here. I'm not saying that this is an actual school.
Yes.
Maybe it is. Doubt it. But there are schools.
It's not. Allow me to reiterate what I mean by that. I realize there are schools in New York City or whatever. They clearly were, the school changes locations throughout this movie. I mean, it's in New York City throughout the entire story, but every time we visit it, it is a different set.
Every entrance looks wildly different, is what Paige is saying. You're like, this building either has multiple buildings or all of, like, it's in different, like, styles everywhere.
But when we see it at the end, it is essentially, like, we see, like, one... Like, if downtown Manhattan could have a cul-de-sac, that's what this backlot looks like. And the school is, like, furthest away from us. Like, it's at the end of the cul-de-sac. And then it's just got, like, a Dwayne Reed next to it. Like, it would be like going to school in a Subway storefront. Like, that is what it looks like. But we know this is a large school with many entrances and, like, a big building that cannot be housed in the storefront we're seeing. But they're just like, see, on the streets of New York. And you're like, oh my God, this is so badly done. This is so bad.
Paige, did you catch what he typed in to like his, I guess, school's social media page when he wanted to delete it?
Yes, I did write that
Paige,
down.
it sounded like a My Chemical Romance B-side. It was I am no more. And why would you have to type anything in? Why couldn't you just delete it?
I wrote down almost everything they wrote down on social media. Because remember, this is also only a couple years past OG Facebook, right? And so that's definitely what it's modeled after. It's like if OG Facebook was black and green and looked like a GeoCities site, that's what their social media is. But every status is unfucking hinged. And so I constantly wrote them down and I was like, what is happening?
Awesome.
And I would hope the book is different. I haven't read it, not gonna. It doesn't seem that good.
I'm shocked.
Maybe I'm wrong.
That this screenplay was based on any written word.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so shocked it's based on a book because it feels like it's based on a pamphlet at best.
Thank
it's
you.
like someone was trying to steal the Beauty and the Beast story and update it. It's like West Side Story to Romeo and Juliet if the people who made West Side Story hated storytelling.
Yes.
Like, it's bad, but in such a fun way. Like, I really did love watching this movie because the whole time I was like, wait,
what? Yeah.
does Vanessa Hudgens not know that that's Kyle? Like, she knew and met Kyle, and he just kind of looks like he's like a C-list villain from the Umbrella Academy, but still Kyle, you know?
Oh, he's got mad CW energy, but like...
Yes.
The other thing that drove me nuts, and here's the one thing that I'm sure is probably better in the book than this, is that this movie aggressively, like, we just did Bones and All over on Horror Virgin, and one of our complaints was that clearly the book would contain more information, it's just not on the screen, and so you're kind of missing it. But instead of talking their way through it and just assuming you know, they're not giving you anything. It's literally just shots of people looking out windows. This movie does the opposite, where this movie still assumes that you know everything.
Yeah.
And then just talks around it, and it doesn't help you with this like weird choppy dialogue to the point where I'm a little spoiled for riches because there's a new Outlander prequel show out.
Yeah, Inlander. Ooh, such a good one.
Woo.
This time they go inland.
Yeah. Inverness, more like Outverness.
Outverness, let's go. Come on.
Let's go. Clan McMuffin rides again. But like, I'd watched that and was like, it's not quite as good as the original, but we'll feel it out. This is only the first episode.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I gotta watch Beastly. And I put this on and I was like, this dialogue is some of the craziest dialogue I'd ever heard, and yet I learned nothing. And there's so many pieces that I was like, the book had better have a better explanation for this, because in the movie, the only explanation is truly overcomplicated, where it's like, he's not running for class president, it's Green Committee president.
Which what?
What?
And how rich is this school that, like, if you win Green Party president, you throw a legit gala that night?
Right?
Like,
that night. I have to assume that he did it.
Well, yeah, I would have to assume that he did it too, because he's the ultimate, like, arbiter of who can come in or not.
Right.
Which leads us to, like, what causes the Olsen twin to come in and, like, cast a spell on him.
Yes.
I know it's Mary Kate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I'll make sure, but I'm like 99.9% sure it's Mary Kate.
It is. It's definitely, I mean, look it up, but I'm like 99, I'm sure it's Mary Kate.
And yeah, but I was like, so he's not even student body president?
No, there's a bigger bad after this. Like,
right?
It's crazy to me. Although I will say this movie, I think, does better at one thing than the Disney movie does.
Okay.
And that is establishing the Beast as a terrible person who needs to change. Like, his energy before he changes is very much like, fuck ugly people, right? Like, why do they even deserve rights?
Oh, throw the whole man in the dumpster.
Like, it's like crazy. And he's like, I mean, it's comically evil, and, obviously the movie wants you to see him as evil, so he has, like, this change, right?
Right.
But, like, they do a really good job establishing that. But they do it through, like, and I'll give you credit to what you said earlier, Paige, a lot of bonkers dialogue. Like,
a lot of bonkers dialogue.
There's a scene, Paige, where, like, one line of this dialogue starts off with, "What happened to romance?" And then it's just 2 minutes of Vanessa Hudgens just, like, uninterrupted until she says, "He was a shot at life." Like, that means anything.
Oh god, yeah, he said what he meant. He the cut of his jib, and I was like,
yes,
no.
It's like someone sneezed out a bunch of, like, metaphors,
but didn't finish them.
No, but they all got jumbled up, and then, like, they just pushed them into a monologue, and Vanessa had to learn that phonetically, because it didn't make logical sense. Like, it was amazing, and, like, it's that stuff that, like, yes, it is a bad movie, but it is so worth watching, because you'll have to rewind it and be like, hey, everybody in the world, have you ever said the phrase, he was a shot at life?
No.
And meant it?
No.
And like me, I've never heard that. That's not like a colloquialism or anything I've ever heard.
No.
It's just a nonsensical phrase they made Vanessa Hudgens say in this movie.
It's not only is it nonsense in this movie.
In the final cut of this movie, that was the best take.
That was the best take. There's that, but then there's also like, I mean, a lot of the stuff he says about just ugly people in general, you're like, what? Like, no one would come out and say that and expect to still be liked. And the fact that he is unhinged. But then they set it up where like he's truly a bad person. Again, unlike Disney's Beauty and the Beast, where we established he was what? A 10-year-old.
Yeah, the witch is a bad person in Beauty and the Beast.
Right. She made Mrs. Potts have Chip born as a cup. But like this one, he's a horrifyingly bad person. And there are so many implications to his like character flaws that are terrifying. But like he is truly a monster. And then he don't learn nothing. Like he learns to access emotions only insofar as it gets him to manipulate women. That's it.
Right?
That's it. And it is still ultimately just for the thing he wants. And it's so bad.
It's great. Yeah. I mean, everything you're saying is right. It is bad. It also makes it great. Just because, listen, some adjunct professor at a community college just had to get his class to produce a film, and this is what we got. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm honestly proud of Vanessa Hudgens for stepping up and just volunteering her time, I assume, to this collegiate level production.
I realized... So now, modern day, Vanessa Hudgens is like the Netflix and Hallmark movie queen.
Oh, yeah. And does a way better job in movies now. I actually like Vanessa Hudgens in those types of movies. She crushes it.
I was kind of excited because I was like, well, at least it's Vanessa Hudgens.
Right? Yeah,
So,
same.
I have a bar of quality I expect. But this was the era. So this was right after High School Musical, however many of them there are, where... she got hacked and her nudes came out like right around this period.
I didn't even realize that happened. Okay.
Yes. And because she was like still under contract with Disney, and this is also like the early 2000s where not only did she have a contract with Disney, but Disney had a very weird like behavior clause and stuff on a lot of their contracting. And they were actively trying to make it seem like most of the people on Disney Channel were virgins. Like they were like really pushing it.
South Park did a really funny spoof of making fun of that.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And I feel like the worst example of it is Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Where they were like, we found out later in the, multiple biographies and autobiography that like, as she was being forced to have an abortion for Justin Timberlake's, like for the, pregnancy she had with Justin Timberlake, they were actively like, they've never slept together. Like it's bonkers, hurtful, and terrible. Purity culture is awful. Yeah. We can unpack that a different time. But for Vanessa Hudgens, this was also that time.
Yeah.
And so she was like, there was a threat of her never being able to work again because of the timing of those nudes getting exposed, which again, she got hacked.
That's insane to me. She is the victim in all of that.
Yeah, she got hacked. It was not her fault.
Yeah.
She is 100% the victim. And it is implied that she was sending those nudes, I believe, to Zac Efron because they were dating at the time. And the fact that like no one remembers this for Zac Efron and everyone remembered it for her.
Well, Zac Efron wasn't nude in the photos. Like
yes.
That's why it's worse.
Yes.
Like it's terrible.
Yes. And like, as I remembered that this was that era and this was like one of her first movies to kind of still try and establish a career, even though that had happened, I was like, boy, am I so grateful we have her bonkers Christmas baking videos today.
Right?
Like, it made me so happy for all of her other Netflix Christmas success. I was like, you go, girl. You go. I love that you still have a career. They could not keep you down. Fuck the haters. Go Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
And she's honestly not given much to do in this movie.
No, I think she's fine in it.
Sure.
She's way better now, I think. But people
100%.
get better as they do it more. You know, like anyway.
I'm honestly disappointed we don't have another Vanessa Hudgens Christmas movie to do. I think we've done all of them.
That's unfortunate. Vanessa, get on it. Let's
Get
figure
on it,
this out.
Vanessa.
Yeah. Can we get you and Sir Cole in The Night Before Christmas too?
Oh, I want a Night Before Christmas sequel so bad.
Come on.
They
set one up. It's set up in that. We can't talk about it. Paige, what we can talk about is the movie Beastly as we go through it scene by scene.
Let's do it. We open on literally no credits, like 2 title cards, and then we are into Alex Pettifer working out, and the credits just kind of happen while that's happening.
Literally best credits of any movie we've ever done, guys.
I thought about that as I was like, Todd's gonna love these credits. Off to a good start.
Actually, Fresh is the best credits of any movie we've ever done.
Fresh is the best credits.
But I do love a movie that's like, we're going to start the movie. We'll put the credits at the end. If you care, we'll show you at the end. Just hang out.
Right.
But if you don't, here's the movie that you paid to see. Like, I love it. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's mostly Alex Pettifer, aka Kyle, working out. Kyle Kingston is his name.
He'll become Hunter later.
I think Hunter's a better name. Just putting it out there. But we also follow him to school to find out that he's running for Green Committee president, which the movie will reveal to be the school's environmental club, but it's treated like a student body president election.
It's treated like a general election for like a local county like office.
Yeah.
Because there's like a gala event. Like, yeah, no, it's crazy. Oh, and he is also on stage doing like a speech or whatever.
Embrace the suck.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Guys, the dialogue in this movie is bad, but worth the price of admission. Like, I paid $3.49 to rent this, and I'd probably rent it to watch it again in a year just because it's that crazy.
Yes.
But embrace the suck. That's kind of what you got to do with this movie.
Yes.
But he's also like saying insane stuff. It's like the quiet part out loud stuff, like you all are going to vote for me because I'm hot, right? Like, we all know that. It's like an attractive level thing. It doesn't even matter what I say. I can walk onto Fifth Avenue and kill somebody and you guys would still vote for me or whatever.
Look, they let you just grab them by the...
They let you do it, right? Yeah, listen, I'm the list, literally the list.
Yes.
And you're still going to vote for me. And listen, he's right.
Yeah.
And that's sad, but he is correct. And they prove him correct, Paige. I mean,
Yes.
we're not there yet because it's technically the next morning or whatever that they
Right.
announce the results. But yeah, he wins this election. But we'll get to that because he's got to like bump into Vanessa Hudgens or whatever.
Right. Well, and we will find out that Vanessa Hudgens is running for like treasurer of the same club.
They're not even running against each other.
Well, there is an implication because Mary Kate's character, Kendra, who is literally just the school goth girl who happens to be an actual witch.
I thought she was the school witch. Like, I thought that was like a position at this school.
Well, she's not. She's witch club president.
She's definitely witch club president, yeah.
Witch club president, because they refer to the witches as if there are multiples of them. And they are like a political, like, you know, when people are like, we're losing control of like white ladies between 18 and 27. Like, that's how they talk about the witches, where they're like, you're not going to get the witch vote, which is crazy.
Paige, I just want to ask the listeners right now, just tell me in the Spotify comments, if we made Witch Club president patches that you could like sew or like hot glue onto things, would you wear them? Because that sounds hilarious to me. I love that. I love that. Anyway, just
Witch Club president.
Hey, where are my Witch Club presidents at?
No, we need buttons. We need buttons. Vote Kendra Witch Club president with Mary Kate's face on them.
Yes,
Kendra for Witch Club president. But so she's president of the Witch Club, and she confronts him, and we find out she has written on all his posters and whatever.
Yeah,
and she kind of points the finger at Vanessa Hudgens. It basically is like, she should have this position, not you, but they're not going to vote for her. That's why she ran for treasurer. She knew she couldn't get it, but ultimately she deserves this.
Yeah.
All right. We will find out in this moment that Vanessa Hudgens is a scholarship kid, which does imply that this is a private prep school.
Oh, yeah.
That she has gotten into on merit or something, and that's why she has a scholarship.
She says scholarship, so it must have been a combination of the scholarship and like a merit-based system where they like tested in or whatever, like a lottery system. Like a lot of really prestigious private schools do that, so they can have a token few kids, if that makes sense.
I mean, sometimes it's token, or like the private school I went to was mostly scholarship kids.
Well, that's a different kind of a thing, though, right? That's like a religious sort of indoctrination thing that that is subsidized by the church. Yeah. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. Those schools are typically better than public schools.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, like it is what it is. But yeah,
I guess it was after I finished going there. They removed the like mandate that you had to be a part of a local church so that it truly just became scholarship. But
yeah, there you go.
Anyway, so we cut to Alex Pettifer, aka Kyle, has gone home to like his apartment that he shares with his dad. We don't really know what has happened to his mom at this point. We will find out that she just fucking left them.
Wouldn't you, Paige? But like, listen, that was the most believable part of the movie. Okay, let me just talk about this apartment because it's important.
Yes.
It establishes them as like super rich. They own the entire top floor, more or less, of the building they live in.
Right.
And like, it is a elite level, mega rich looking apartment, if that makes sense.
With a terrible kitchen for how big that apartment is, but yes.
I think they shot that kitchen somewhere else because it looks
100%.
way too small for the building they established.
And it's got a staircase in it. And I'm like, a staircase to where? They're on the top floor?
I know, Paige. And then later, when he climbs onto the roof to build the structure that they put the roses in.
Well, that's a different building.
Wait. What?
He moves.
Oh, that's right. He does move to like another building that they own, I guess.
He moves across, literally off of Manhattan. That building looks like it's in Jersey.
It probably was. But Paige, when he climbs up the outside of that building, I will grant you it's a different apartment. Yeah. But they already established that one's also the top floor.
Yes.
Because Vanessa has staircases up. It was insane
and
to me.
And a skylight into the roof.
I know. Like the only way the guy who owns the top floor can get roof access is to climb onto the fire escape and go up the ladder? I don't think so.
Right, because the only other way is through her room and the skylight.
Right.
Yes.
Why wouldn't he just be like, hey, I need to, just take some stuff up onto the roof. Do you mind if I carry some stuff for the next 30 minutes through your room?
Why? Why are they making her live in the attic? It's established there are multiple empty rooms in this house.
Well, Paige, she's not allowed in the West Wing.
I mean,
Aaron Sorkin's in there writing the State of the Union.
Because women can't be president. No.
Oh, actually, I just made an Aaron Sorkin reference, and I do want to make another one because the guy who plays the dad.
Yes.
And it's so wild because he's established as like a news anchor, if you will.
Right.
His name is Peter Krause. I actually kind of love Peter Krause because he was in a short-lived, it only had 2 seasons, Aaron Sorkin TV show in the late 90s called Sports Night, where he played as a national sports anchor, like an ESPN kind of sports anchor. And man, I loved that show. It's great.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, Peter Krause only plays sociopathic CEOs or low-level celebrities. Like, he only plays anchors or CEOs of companies that have something to hide. And he's always like the pretty face that is hiding crime.
Yeah. I'll say you're right, but it's because his face is the way it is, it's not his fault.
Right. 100%.
I actually think he's kind of a good actor and he's great in Sports Night and he's not like a sociopath. He's just like a minor league celebrity guy.
Just a dude.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen Sports Night, check it out. I guess if you can. I don't even know if it's streaming anywhere.
I don't know.
But it's like Aaron Sorkin's first show after he made like A Few Good Men, which...
Well, it's the show that got him West Wing, essentially.
Yeah. Because they canceled that, he did go on to make West Wing, which listen, I'm okay with. I like West Wing too.
I'm not a huge West Wing person, but I can admit that it is very good. It's just not my personal vibes.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely has its problems. Like, I know Dave Anthony hates it, and I actually agree with all the reasons he hates it.
Yep.
I just really like the poetry of the language that Aaron Sorkin's able to use. But we can move on. We don't have to hang out on Aaron Sorkin for a while. I apologize. I really just wanted to point out the Sports Night reference because he is a TV news anchor. Yeah, it might be his character.
He's played a news anchor or a sports anchor or weatherman or whatever, like so many times. Like,
oh yeah, I mean he's always had that face. Yeah, 100% Paige. Yeah,
it's like the actor. I am not going to know this person's name, and my mic is blocking my keyboard, so I'm not going to look it up. But in Minority Report, Tom Cruise's coworker, the guy that has that blonde hair and those really blue eyes, that dude always plays a cop. He's a cop or a soldier every single time. And dude's worked steadily for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And always a cop or a soldier every single time. Some people just got those faces.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. All right. One take Wesley in the house. Let's see if we can do this. Babbel ad for August 19th. Are you putting off that dream trip because you're nervous about not speaking the language? Don't sweat it. You know I would never. I've traveled all over the world, and sometimes it helps to know a little bit of the lingo. That's why I've been using Babbel to learn Italian, so I can order at Olive Garden with confidence and justify my pasta tattoo. But you could use Babbel for learning any language. There's over a dozen languages available to learn at your own pace, so you can achieve your goals with material tailored to your individual proficiency level, your interests, and your time availability. You can start speaking a language with confidence thanks to Babbel's So much for that one take. I'm sorry, bro. You can start speaking a new language with confidence thanks to Babbel's conversation-based technique that quickly teaches you useful words and phrases about the things that you actually talk about in the real world. So, hold on. Sorry, this script is so crazy long. Let's see. Okay. Babbel has a ton of different ways to help you get proficient in your new language, including engaging in interactive dialogue to practice conversation skills right away. Bonjour, nice to meet you, Belle. As well as speech recognition to make sure that you're getting the pronunciation just right. That was bonjour. Personalized review systems to... They also have personalized review systems based on your progress and designed for long-term memorization. You want to remember that it is cucumber, not cucumber, just so you don't embarrass yourself. And they also have Babbel games for sentence building and spelling reinforcement, because you know you got to spell right, baby. They also include culture bites that deliver content and insider knowledge about the language. Maybe there is a term that means two different things depending on who you're saying it to. Babbel's got you covered. It also helps you stay motivated to learn a new language because it has real-time feedback, progress trackers, and handy visualizations. In only 10 to 15 minutes a day on Babbel's mobile app or website, you could be speaking a new language in just a matter of weeks. Let's see. As an internationally touring comedian, sometimes I have to know the words for things like airport, passport, help me, oh my goodness, where is the bathroom? And Babbel helps me every time. Whether it's Spanish, Italian, French, English, or, hold on, there's a whole list, sorry. Whether it's English, German, Spanish, Italian, French, Brazilian, Portuguese, Turkish, Polish, Indonesian, Turkish, Polish, Indonesian, Dutch, Norwegian, Danish, Swedish, or even Russian, Babbel has you covered. So, if you want to learn another language like I am, I'm teaming up with Babbel to give you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/romancingthepod. Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/romancingthepod. Again, that's spelled BABBEL.com/romancingthepod. I hope you know how to spell Romancing the Pod. You're listening to it, but just in case you don't, that's babbel.com/ ROMANCINGTHEPOD. Rules and restrictions may apply. There is no way that there's not enough content in what I just gave you to cut together something for a minute. Apologies if it's harder to edit. Let me know if you need more. Okay, bye. Anyway, his dad is like, oh yeah, Jill got fired, but she was always big boned, so I guess, she should have known better than to gain weight. Basically implying that he just shit-canned somebody in his office because she got chubby.
That's what he says. Yeah. I mean, it's very clear that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He learned it from watching you. I now understand why the mom is gone.
A hundo. And also, this was ultra triggering after I had just watched, honestly, I shouldn't have. I should have known better. That Biggest Loser documentary.
Paige, I binged all of it last night too.
Boy, is that a bad documentary. That is not done well. It is rough.
I didn't watch the show because it made me sad at the time.
Yeah, I was never a fan of the show.
The documentary made me very sad. Oh man, it's rough.
If you're thinking about watching the documentary and you were a fat person during the time and you're like, will this be bad for my mental health? Yes.
Yes. It was bad for my mental health and I didn't have that struggle. So yeah.
Allow me to explain part of why it will be bad for your mental health. They will show many reasons why the show was fucking awful at the time, and thankfully they have the host of the maintenance phase there to occasionally be like, hey, science says this. And This is horrible what they're doing to people. And they bring in a couple different doctors, not only the doctor on the show, which you will find out they fully ignored and absolutely put people in mortal danger.
I kind of felt bad for him, that doctor guy.
I'm mixed.
Yeah, I mean, it is complicated, I will say that. But it seems like even at the time he was raising concerns that they were just ignoring. And he is somewhat complicit because he stayed on, but
Exactly. That's my thing, is he stayed on.
It's complicated.
He does still use a lot of fat phobic rhetoric and whatever, but there are stories documented of him this person's gonna die because of what the show is doing to them, and I can protect them in this way, and I will try. So I am a little more complicated on him, but then they bring another doctor in that's a complete third party to just analyze some data, and he's like, yeah, actually, the show is bad for these reasons.
Yeah.
They will do all of that.
Yeah.
And then still at the end be like, but it helped people, and you're like, what? No, documentary, what? What the fuck? And if you want to be disgusted by reality show producers, holy shit.
Yeah.
Should we tar and feather those guys? What the fuck? The things those men say with no ounce of shame, and you're like, you don't feel bad at all.
They literally almost killed somebody on a beach, and they're like, well, I mean, who could have guessed that could have happened?
Right?
And they cut to the doctor, and he's like, I mean, he doesn't say this, but he more or less like me. I could have guessed that was going to happen. They should have asked me anything about this kind of a thing.
Yeah. And then at the end, they use bullshit BMI statistics to basically,
of course.
And I was just like, oh my God. I want the producers of this documentary to do one iota of research about the thing that they're doing a documentary about. Also, I do think it was funny that everyone thought Bob was the nice trainer, and then watch the documentary. That man fully in the dumpster as well.
Yeah.
And the only one who's had a heart attack.
I don't think the other trainer was a nice trainer. I don't remember her name because I didn't watch the show, but.
No, Jillian's a monster. But everyone was like, she's the monster. Bob's the nice one. No.
I mean, comparatively, probably, but they're both terrible people, it seems. Yeah.
They're both monsters.
I don't know either of them, but they seem bad people.
Anyway, all that to say, when he was like, we fired her for being big boned, I got an eye twitch. And I was like, ugh. There is also something that that Kyle types on social media later that also gave me an eye twitch, but also I kind of want to put on a shirt, Ham Beast style. Although it's not.
Yeah.
We definitely need our Kendra for Witch Club president buttons first.
Yes.
Anyway, he is trying to have a conversation with his dad. He and his dad can't even really talk to each other. He's texting his dad while his dad's in the same room. And not for a fun bit, because that's the only way his dad will pay attention to him.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like that. I mean, his dad ostracizes him when he gets, I don't know what you would say happens to his face, but yeah, when that happens.
He gets some unfortunate tattoos. Yeah.
It does seem like he just like got drunk and made a few bad choices. Like
I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit more in a bit because I think the movie is trying to have it both ways because they cast Alex Pettyfer. So like, they're like, we know why the girls are seeing this. And so there's so many scenes of him like writing love letters to her shirtless.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, he's got the like, the beastly tattoos and stuff, but he's still Alex Pettyfer shirtless. Like, you're clearly still like, don't worry, we'll give you something to look at. Like, it's so crazy.
I mean, that is what this is. Yeah.
That's 100% what they're doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, his dad walks away and he's clearly upset that he doesn't really have a relationship with his dad. And he takes it out on Zola, the housekeeper, and is just like, what, I bet you got like 16 kids back home or whatever. Yeah, go help that. It is fucked up, the things he says to her.
I like her response. She's like, I have 3 kids. You know that.
Yeah, you should know that.
Yeah.
You are just being mean, essentially.
Yeah. She like calls him on it immediately.
Yeah. Anyway, we cut back to school the next day where he confronts Kendra, president to president, because he has now won the election. And as president of the, I guess, Green Party, he has to get the witch vote. And so he's like, hey, Kendra, witch club president, why don't you go with me to the dance? And she's like, okay. And she does have a cool wig on in this scene. It's the only time. Every other time, she's got kind of the long blonde hair. I think they were just, experimenting in this scene.
Yeah. They were like screen tests and she was like, you got it. You're fine.
You got it. Don't worry about it. But anyway, he's like, it'll be a political statement. The alliance between the green and the witches. And so like we cut to the party, the dance or whatever. And Vanessa Hudgens it's positioned that this party is part of her work study that she is saving for this trip to Machu Picchu. We will talk about Machu Picchu later. We mention it here. We never mention it again until the end of the movie. But she's just putting out candles on the table while the event's already going.
I know. It looks like she's setting up still.
Yeah, it looks like she's setting up still, but she's got them all on a tray like a waiter. Like she's like people have ordered candles and she's delivering them to the table.
It's like she's in an episode of Party Down and there's like the scene takes place an hour before the party begins.
Yes.
But the party's like an hour in. Like we're deep into the party. People are dancing on the dance floor at this point.
Yes. And he's like, why are you working? And she's like, Machu Picchu. And he's like, okay. And then literally that's but he ends up talking to her because his girlfriend, Dakota Johnson, who's only in 2 scenes of this movie, and boy, are they wild. He tried to give her a white rose as a corsage and she blew him off because it wasn't an orchid. He didn't plan ahead. That's why it's a white rose, whatever. But he shows it to Vanessa Hudgens, who is like, a white rose means I'm worthy of you.
That's not what she says, Paige.
Go for it.
What she says is way worse than that because I loved this moment. I had to rewind it because it's terrible and it just makes me laugh. So what happens is he goes to like give her a rose or whatever because they're going to take a photo together, which like why? Whatever.
It's really weird.
He like forces her boob to hold his rose. It's dumb. But he like goes to take it and hand it to her and she goes, you think I'm worthy of you?
Yeah.
That's the line.
Yeah.
And then he goes, what?
What?
Because that's a weird thing to just say to a stranger. And then she goes, oh, that's what a white rose means. Sorry. I'm like a rosist. I don't know. I can't remember. But like, it's crazy. It was just like a crazy exchange of dialogue.
It's bonkers.
You think I'm worthy of you, Paige.
You think I'm worthy of you. But my favorite part of it is like, they take this picture. It's a bonkers picture because she's like smiling and he's like looking down at her like lovingly. But that's not the context of what happens in this picture at all. She then hangs on to this picture.
It's her background on her wallpaper, I think. Yeah.
Like the movie tries to set up that she was secretly crushing on / in love with shitty version of Kyle.
A monster. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And never really changes that. Like she'll admit to that later in the movie and I'm like, what?
Honestly, what she should have been is like struggling with the fact that Hunter looks a little bit like Kyle.
Yeah.
And I hate Kyle. He's the worst.
Kyle's the worst.
But it's revealed that like, oh damn, like I was super into Kyle. It's good that Hunter is like, I don't know, exactly the same as Kyle.
Right. but it sounds the same, looks a lot alike.
It literally looks like he got into a very bad car accident this morning.
Right.
Because he's got metal and stuff in his face.
Or that he just pulled off his Darth Vader mask.
Yes, it does look rather Darth Vader-ish.
Yes.
Except much more in shape.
Yeah. And then here comes Kendra, Witch Club president, like, Anakin, I've got the high ground. Like, that's just, she shows up at the party.
Yes, she does. And he's like, what are you doing here after having just invited her?
Yeah. Oh, you thought that was for real? And I love that at no point, I don't think Kendra, Witch Club president, ever thought it was real because she's a candidate who understands the people. And like... So she's like, no, I didn't think this was real, but I did have to show up because I needed proof that you were as shitty as I thought you were.
This was a second chance, I think is what she says.
Right. Like if I showed up and you were nice to me, then hey, maybe you're not irredeemable, but like you play it into this hand. You were exactly as shitty as I expected you to be. You're treating me badly in this moment. And so it's time for me to turn you into a beast by making it seem like you're on Molly at this party for a while. And so like, she's just like, poof, cursed, and leaves.
Yeah.
And then he gets very sick, goes home, goes to his apartment. She's at the apartment where the tattoos start to form. And she's like, when this tree on your arm is spring again, does the movie play by any sort of logical amount of time? No. We'll talk about it. But like when the tree on your arm is spring again, then you have to find somebody to say they'll love you in that time.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I think part of the problem with this is that they're like, oh, he's beautiful and he needs to learn to find beauty in others. But that's not what happens at all. He finds beauty in Vanessa Hudgens, who is ostensibly beautiful.
Arguably beautiful. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And she is supposed to find beauty in others. And I know that that's the Beauty and the Beast thing, but like in OG Beauty and the Beast, his thing wasn't beauty. His thing was being selfish or whatever they portray it as, or being a fascist dictator in arguably one of the best movies of this month, Beautician and the Beast. So like...
Yeah, it's certainly in second place currently.
That's what's up. So for him to be so focused on his looks and then for her to take his looks away, what I really wanted more, if I were to see a true change in him, would be to fall for someone for other reasons, not looks. This is why Love is Blind is a problem for me, because they're like, what if you could fall in love with someone without seeing them? But then they're all conventionally attractive, so it doesn't really matter, right? Like, if you want to test that theory of like, hey, this person really needs to get out of this very shallow mindset, then you kind of have to demonstrate them falling for or valuing someone beyond their looks. And the movie doesn't do that.
You're right.
Right?
I do think, even though it's terrible, Shallow Hal does a better job of this.
I was just thinking this, and Shallow Hal is a terrible fucking movie.
Yes, I'm not saying it's a good movie, Paige. I am saying it does a better job than this in making that point. Yeah.
Right. And like the problem with Shallow Hal, oddly enough, is not the premise. And that's a crazy thing to say, because the premise of you not being able to see someone in the way that you would normally shallowly choose people, like that idea is not a problem. The problem is that they use it as a way to just A, put Gwyneth Paltrow in a fat suit, and B, mock her. It's just a vehicle of jokes at her expense, not at true growth for him and understanding that he just truly loves someone for who they are and not for what they look like.
Yeah.
And so like, I do think that's a tough line to walk, but I feel like this movie set all that up, and then ultimately what they display is just him learning to manipulate Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah, and he does. He does a good job, because at the end of this movie, she, I don't know, ends it worse than Ghost and walks away before saying she loves him. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll get there.
Yeah. The bus to Machu Picchu, you take it with you.
You don't. You don't take it with you.
Also a bus. Anyway, so like, we'll get to it. But he wakes up, or rather he waits for his dad to come home, and his dad's like, ugh. And like, he immediately takes him to like doctors. He's like, face transplant. We'll risk anything.
Paige, I love that it cuts from his dad's reaction to them at the doctor, who the doctor says this specifically. his insides are perfectly normal. And I was like, cool, thanks, doc. Because, like, I'm going to need you to be more specific because that sounds like a Yelp review for, like, a rotisserie chicken or something. Like, you're a doctor. If your doctor refers to all of your vital organs as your insides, get a second opinion at base level. Like, that's insane.
That is crazy. But at this point, literally, we skip a couple weeks, I would assume, ahead to his dad being like, hey, I got you something. It's an apartment I'll never come back to, and I'm leaving you here as a prisoner. Bye.
But don't worry, I got you another doctor for a second opinion. Dr. Doogie Howser.
Yes, Neil Patrick Harris does show up, and he's supposed to be the tutor. Do they do any tooting? No, they do not.
I bet they farted.
I mean, they probably farted, but I don't think they learned anything about it.
He's only a tutor so they can do the one scene where they read, I think,
a poem.
Yeah, it is a poem. And all the teacher does is say, hey, you guys know each other, right? Read this poem. Bye.
Bye.
That's all Neil Patrick Harris does as, quote, the tutor.
I'm hungover and I'm going to play a movie in class today.
Yes.
It's bonkers.
Who wants to watch the same 30 minutes of Apollo 13 we watched yesterday?
See, we always watched Remember the Titans and Princess Bride.
Nice.
Anyway, he, at this point, has been left in this apartment for months and finally starts talking to Zola, the housekeeper, is like, hey, how old are your kids? Tell me about them. And she does. And he's like, so you just left them? And she literally is like, hey, white boy, I don't know if you know how immigration works, you fucking entitled prick, but hey, I didn't get to. And if I don't work and send money back, their life is bad. I'm doing this for them, you fucking cocksucker. What the fuck?
He is taking the angle that so you're just living here, having a great life, just enjoying the shit out of all the money you can make in America as a housekeeper living in New York. I'm sure you're doing great or whatever. But what she's actually doing is probably living on what is more or less in poverty so she can send as much money as she can back to her family. She is the sweetest kind of person.
Yes.
And I do love that she does not take his shit. She is very much no, that's not what this is, you moron. Life isn't like your life. Your life is so privileged, and he can't understand it.
He can't understand it. And she's basically I've been gone for 5 years to try and make a better life for my family, and there is a hole in my heart.
Yeah.
And she tries to be that's why I know your father will come back someday. He won't. He is never in this movie again.
He's not. No.
He's gone. But Kyle goes and rides on his motorcycle to, and I don't remember the band, I'm assuming you will, but they're I'm gonna get free, I'm gonna get free right into the sun. And I was like, oh man, I haven't heard this song since college.
I know, it was very college, yeah. It's the Vines, but.
The Vines, okay, yeah. Whatevs. This was a one-hit wonder, I'm guessing.
I honestly don't know if they did much others, but they were we never played with him or anything, but they were sort of blowing up at the time we were starting to go on tour.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, he drives his motorcycle down the steps of their brownstone, which is crazy because it means he's storing it in the vestibule inside.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's got burnout tracks in the vestibule out the front door.
Oh my God. But he goes to a Halloween party, which means it's been months. We established he has been in this apartment for months. It's been 5 months.
Yeah.
He lied and told everyone he was going to rehab, but he hasn't been at school. And that's half the year basically already.
Yeah. He hasn't even taken her prisoner yet, Paige.
He does. It's longer than halfway through the movie before he does. We will talk about it.
Yeah.
But he's able to walk around and no one recognizes him because it's Halloween and they assume it's a mask. But this is where he ends up seeing his girlfriend cheat on him, even though the girlfriend's I do kind of feel bad for him. But honestly, now that he's gone, I just feel better and I don't have to be as mean to people anymore. And his friend that she is cheating with is I know, right? Make out. That's it.
Well, motorboating her. Yeah,
that's a wrap on Dakota Johnson.
I know. Yeah. It is pretty wild that he thought that they would still be boyfriend and girlfriend after not speaking to her for 5 months. So, like, I don't think she's, quote, cheating in this moment.
No.
I think she has been ghosted for 5 months, assumed he did not want to be with her, and she moved on to her backup option, his former best friend.
He also, anytime he refers to her ever in the movie, he's like, her and her bimbo friends are fucking slut heels. I was like, look, just because she's president of the bimbo slut club does not mean
Put it on a patch, Paige. Put it on a patch.
Sloan, bimbo slut club president. Like, he's so mean and so callous of like, I don't know, what kind of heels do those whores wear? And you're like, oh my God, like, he's burned him at the stake. Like, it's just awful.
Yeah.
And Vanessa Hudgens' character is like, he tells it like it is.
Which is true, I suppose. But like what he tells it like it is reveals that he is not a very good person.
Yeah.
So you should not want to be with him. But like Vanessa Hudgens is also like, but he's rich and hot though.
He's rich and hot though.
I'll just cover his mouth when I'm riding at Cowgirl. I don't know what your plan is long term, but like I don't think he's made a change that's gonna last a lifetime, if that makes sense by the end of this movie.
Not at all. But I also, okay, look, people who air quotes tell it like it is come in two varieties. And one of them I do think is a valuable trait. The other one, throw them in the trash. Because someone who tells it like it is might be someone who is honest with you even when it's hard. And that is a valuable trait because that's someone who cares about you and is being honest because they care about you. There's a lot of confusion, I think, going around with the other type, which is someone who just says whatever they want and doesn't care about anyone's feelings ever and doesn't deliver that information in a kind or constructive way.
Right.
And that makes a huge difference.
It's the difference between like trying to help your friend understand something and just being like, damn, XYZ friend name, you're like dumb, right?
Right.
Like one of those things is helpful and one of those things is very much not helpful at all.
I run into this in roast world all the time.
Oh, I bet.
Where there are a number of people who I think are very excited by my performance, and that's great. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. But they misunderstand what I'm doing as basically just being a bitch and like will just message me mean things and be like, see, I'm doing what you're doing. And I'm like, no, what I'm doing is I know another comedian. We have had a conversation about this performance that we are doing. We then wrote jokes specifically for it. We performed them. You enjoyed it. What you're doing is messaging horrible things to a person you saw on the internet. Like, they're very different things. We're not the same. And like, but that's him. This is the scene where she's like, I don't know. He kind of like told it like it was. And I respected that. What, girl? No.
Do not respect that.
No. But he drives home on his motorcycle and sleeps on the floor for some reason. He has furniture and a bed. He just sometimes, for sad times, I guess, sleeps on the floor.
He couldn't make it to the bed. Too much sad.
Yeah. And we did see him call his dad and be like, let's stop pretending you don't want to be here. And his dad's like, you're right. And doesn't text message him ever again. Never communicates with him again for the rest of the movie.
Now he was too busy on the set of whatever he was actually filming this year.
I would assume. But this is where we move into Neil Patrick Harris playing darts. And this is the scene where, because in other scenes, he's like wearing glasses and that kind of, I guess, helps the performance. But in this one, he clearly remembers halfway through the scene that he should have a different eye line if he is portraying blindness and changes halfway through. And Todd, in this scene, we see him in the wide throwing darts. He does great.
Yes.
Then up close when he has a different eye line, it cuts between the darts and him. And it still implies that he throws pretty accurately. Now, here's the thing. That is a thing someone could do with a lot of practice, especially if you know where the dartboard is and like, you know where you are in relation to the room. I don't doubt that is possible. Right?
My problem was that he was looking directly at the dartboard for the first half.
Yes.
Yeah.
My problem is the movie. Not because the movie, when it gets up close and he has the different eye line, they're cutting between, and they're cutting between shots of him looking a full different direction and throwing darts, and then cutting to the dartboard. And all I want is a real shot of where those darts went with him looking in the different direction because he realized he was supposed to in the performance.
Yeah, it's wild.
They're not going straight. Like, he's just everywhere. And it's because they like realized they had like up close, they had to portray this. And then we're like, oh wait, like it's the movie being callous and awful.
Yeah, it makes it fun to watch though, because you're like, oh man, like if you played a drinking game of every time NPH like catches someone's eye line perfectly as they're talking, you know?
Yes.
As someone who's a quote blind character, that's not how you play that, because that's not like true to reality, right? All the time.
Here's the thing. I know multiple people who are blind.
Same.
And sometimes, yes, they do catch your eye line because they're good at hearing. And so they like...
Yeah, they'll certainly look in your direction, yeah.
So the Bay Area has 2 roast battlers who are blind, which is wild because a huge amount of roast battlers looks like jokes, and they don't have that in their arsenal. So it's actually kind of more impressive to do roast battle without the element of sight. That's crazy.
That is kind of awesome.
Right? I did not know that one of them was blind. I met them in the green room. We were just hanging out and talking. But because he hadn't been able to see his entire life. And so like he was so used to hearing people and turning where people were. And it wasn't until he was like, hey, where's the bathroom? And I was like, oh, it's right there. Like gesturing with my hand because I did not know or think about it.
Oh, I've done that before too. Yeah.
Right. Because I didn't know. And he was like, hey, I'm going to need you to be more descriptive, or could you help lead me there because I am blind? And I was like, what? I had no idea. Absolutely, I will help you. But like, what? In this movie, though, Neil Patrick Harris, I think, is doing his best to remember that in each scene, but he remembers it halfway through every time.
Yeah, it's the reason it bothers me isn't that he's blind or that he's doing the things that like may be impressive if a blind person did it. Like Ray Charles could play piano expertly and he was blind. Like
Stevie Wonder catches that microphone, and I fully believe Stevie Wonder is blind and heard that microphone and caught it. I don't want to hear your conspiracy theories. I think Stevie Wonder has great hearing, and that's how he knew that microphone was moving.
It's echolocation page. He is the first Daredevil. But I also think that the way the movie just absolutely does not care that Neil Patrick Harris's performance lines up with like what it would actually be like for someone who's blind in this movie. It's the callous disregard for like that I think is wild.
You know how we talk about this movie and we're like, this is what people who have been able to see their entire lives think blindness is like. And just guessing, where they're like, I think it'd be this. Wouldn't it be funny with darts? And it's like, no, like, I'm sure there are people who are good at darts. What? I
don't disagree at all, but I do want to add the caveat of it is like the kind of written from the perspective of like someone who has always had sight and like also never spoken to or met a blind person.
Right.
Like are just making wild assumptions about what that would be like, having heard the premise of what it is to be blind.
Right.
Like it's there's no nuance in it. It's just crazy to me. And it's so funny.
It's bonkers. It reminds me in some ways of Tiptoes, where they put Gary Oldman on that couch with the legs.
That is a great correlation, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though there were people like involved in Tiptoes that were like trying to get accurate representation, they still put Gary Oldman on a couch with fake legs. Like that's
in the performance of a lifetime page. That's what they say about him in that movie.
Anyway, Neil Patrick Harris at this point, because Kyle is like, girls aren't going to love me because I'm ugly. And Neil Patrick Harris is like, hey man, girls like a lot of things. Like, they're not as shallow as you think necessarily. And like, I've done okay. Like my whole life, it's been fine. You never know. You just have to talk to people.
Yeah.
Like you have to establish a rapport in a relationship. Does he do that? No. Does he basically just manipulate Vanessa Hudgens the whole time? Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, at this point, Kyle goes out and stalks Vanessa Hudgens. We are halfway through the movie at this point. Like halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
But we still don't have her. She's still not at the house. He comes back. He sees Neil Patrick Harris getting dressed. And he's literally like, what are you doing? As if people who can't see wouldn't like care about how they look. And I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And Neil Patrick Harris is like, it's about how I see myself, and I'm still allowed to like things and like have opinions about how I want to look or whatever. Like, and the movie reacts like this is revolutionary information, and I'm like, what? Like,
yeah,
of course they care about how they look. What are you talking about? Like, they care about their clothes. Like, what? It's bonkers.
It is positioned like he just cracked Cold Fusion, though. Like,
Oh
it's
my
that.
God.
Yeah, it's like that much reference is paid to this aha moment he's just had.
So crazy. But then he goes and he looks at the social media site for the school. And this I wrote down because it's his own page. And it's his picture, and it says, interests, anything bangable.
I saw that. Yes, I did see that.
And then it says, about me, hate fatty cakes, guts with butts. That's it. That's all the information he gives.
In that context, what does guts with butts mean?
Thank you. I have no idea. The only thing I can think is that he's trying to elaborate on what fatty cakes means. But I was like, I think that was self-explanatory, man.
Okay, but if that's the case, then our guts position. So he doesn't want butts. He wants a surfboard. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
He doesn't want any shape. I guess, like, okay, that's a type, but like.
I mean, well, this is the early 2000s. So like.
Well, no, this is 2011. I'm not
That's
saying
still
you're wrong
early.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that. Like.
It's still in a horrible body image era.
Yes. Yeah. I do think things are slowly getting a little bit better with that, but it's still not good even now.
We've had a backswing, especially in the fashion industry, and it's fucked up, but we can't talk about it today. For this movie, I will say, multiple times, he is positioned as being particularly fat phobic.
Yes.
With the, like, Jill who got fired for being, chubby, for the hate fatty cakes, this. At no point is that a character flaw that is fixed. Ever.
No.
Ever at all. Not even approached.
No.
Spoiler, there is not a fat person at their school that we ever see at all. There's no fat people in this movie that we ever see at all.
No.
They are just referred to in the abstract as the grossest possible thing.
It does do that to position him as a bad person, but then doesn't bother teaching him a lesson specifically about that, you know?
Right.
Like the lesson he learns is how to get someone to fall in love with him when he's ugly,
right.
Not how to accept and see other people that may be larger than the average, I guess. I don't even know, because we never see someone, when he describes someone as fat, we never see that person.
Right.
It's just like the mythical, like, woke.
Right.
You know,
right.
like it's like the thing that like people say, but there's no context for.
Right.
It's wild. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
But he does at this point, like he follows her around, comes back, and he and NPH and Zola are like sitting and eating dinner. And he's like, is there like an eye operation? And NPH is like, just a miracle, but thanks. Which I assume, because we do find out that he was injured at 15 and that's when he lost his sight.
Yeah.
And so for me, what I would assume is it was some sort of head injury that impacted like the nerves or something.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he was like, is there some kind of operation you could do? I was thinking, no, God, don't go to his doctor, because his doctor will refer to your eyeballs as like, I don't know.
They're good on the inside.
Yeah. Like your insides are great. Are you talking about my brain? Like, what are you talking about when you say insides? I need you to be a little more specific.
They go up to the roof and they're hitting golf balls off the roof. Now, we know that they are close to the harbor-ish because we see it from the roof.
Right.
Not close enough for those golf balls not to hit people.
No, they're definitely like hitting cars and people as they're walking down the street. Yeah. I do think it's funny because it kind of looks like they're just on a back lot.
Yes.
And they're like, it's like a hanging sheet.
Yes.
So they're like actually hitting golf balls into this big tarp that looks like New York City.
Yep.
I mean, they're not, but it would have been hilarious if like every time they hit it, like you see the background slowly like sway a little bit when it gets hit. Yeah.
So we have not done The Room on this show, but notably, one of the things they did in The Room, and they depict this in the Disaster Artist, is they filmed they had access to a rooftop. They did not use it.
No.
They built a fake rooftop in a parking lot.
Yep.
And then like did a background around it, and it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. But it looks kind of like this movie.
It does, yeah. Which is to say, almost accurate.
Almost.
It's like so close.
Yeah. I forced my brother-in-law. Congratulations, Aaron and Brian, on their new baby,
father,
by the way.
Yeah.
New father. Last Thanksgiving, I forced him to watch The Room, and we could not find it streaming. I had to bust out my DVD of The Room.
So you're saying shortly after you made him watch The Room, he got your sister pregnant. So one thing, I mean...
You know what? Either before or after, one thing led to another.
Because that is 9 months ago, Paige.
I know. I can't guarantee that The Room did not help with conception. Potentially.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard the sex scene in it is terrible, so I'm sure it didn't help with that part of it.
I'm pretty sure at one point Brian was just sitting on my couch and just said, "Good Lord."
Yeah. That checks out.
Anyway, Alex Pettifer is stalking Vanessa Hudgens again. And he's following her to like a medical clinic. And as she's like giving out sandwiches to homeless people, we will find out later she's looking for her father who has an addiction problem.
Yeah, because I think her mother died and he's like through the grief of all that turned to addiction. It's kind of sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much like After.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Alex Pettifer, as he's stalking her, hears a drug deal going down and she tries to get in the middle. And he basically like Batmans it and knocks out one of the guys. So she's free. Her dad is free. He carries an unconscious Vanessa Hudgens down into the vestibule so she's safe, goes back up there, and her dad has shot one of the drug dealers.
Yes.
And the brother of the drug dealer, still alive, is like, "I'm going to come kill your fucking daughter because you killed my brother."
Very Shakespearean. He goes, "A life for a life. I'm going to kill your daughter for the life of my brother," or whatever. You're like, good Lord.
I do bite my thumb at thee, sir. Like, yes.
It's like he like yells life debt at him and then claims the life of the daughter. It's crazy.
Yeah. Life debt! Michael? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know, Paige, did you notice that whoever did the sound design for this movie also dropped in as Alex Pettifer is like fighting these guys, drops in wolf sounds?
No, I didn't hear that, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, there are legit, like, it sounds like the end of The Gray, like under the audio a little bit. It's crazy.
As I was peeking through some of the like fun fact stuff, I caught a description from the book, and I think the book has him a lot more beast like we would think of like Beauty and the Beast, as opposed to what the movie depicts. And so he might have been more animal in the book. Not 100%.
I mean, Paige, if he didn't look in the book like Ron Perlman did in his adaptation TV show of this story.
Right, with Sarah Connor. Got it.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
Was that one called The Beast? What was that one called?
It's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah.
1987 to 1990. Damn, it got 3 seasons?
3 seasons. I remember watching it on TV. I honestly, like, I bet it's streaming somewhere. I could get into that. But I got to finish up with my new Outlander stuff first. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
So he goes home and is like, after telling her dad, like, bring her to my house, I'll keep her safe. He goes home. They show up the next day and her dad's just like, "You got to be safe. Taking you to a stranger's house and abandoning you here." Anyway.
Which is what he does.
That's what he does.
I love that her dad, like, dropped her off like it was a play date.
Yes. And it is, we do find out that it is like wintry at this point.
Yeah.
It's been maybe a month since the Halloween party.
The tattoo has Christmas lights on it. That's how you know it's Christmas time.
Right. But that means that we're like a good portion of the way through the year.
It's almost spring, Paige.
It's almost spring.
Yeah, it's spring. That's when it all ends.
We get a very quick montage of him trying to buy her designer things that she does not care about. And then ultimately buying her juji fruits because he found her eating them when he was stalking her. And he he remembers the Machu Picchu trip. We're not going to address it again, but he wears like a ski mask and he's like trying to like give her the juji fruits.
He's dressed like the 13th member in Ocean's 13 for like a good portion of this movie because he's wearing like a balaclava.
Right.
So it's like whole face is covered, which like even if your face was covered and I couldn't see it, I would remember your voice. Like she knows him.
Right.
I would argue that it would probably be easier to recognize him if you could just hear his voice.
Right.
It's crazy to me she doesn't know who it is.
If you took the most popular boy that I went to high school with, put him in a ski mask, and walked him into my life today with his voice and gait and whatever, I'd recognize him 20 years later. Like, this is so crazy.
It is very crazy.
That she doesn't recognize him. Anyway, we do get a shot of her social media, and hers, in interest, it just says, Amazing Crazy Roses. What?
Yeah.
Anyway, she comes downstairs. She meets Neil Patrick Harris. And this is where we find out that Alex Pettifer, a.k.a. Kyle, a.k.a. Hunter, she knows him as Hunter, is building her a greenhouse upstairs with like greenhouse for dummies. And he builds it out of like recycled windows and doors. It looks very cool. Builds it over her skylight. He lights it for Christmas. She comes downstairs and finds him on the couch and is like, oh my God, we finally get to meet. And she finds out that like his dad has kind of abandoned him there.
Yeah.
And, you know, her dad's kind of abandoned him there. They have this moment where they're watching Korean TV and pretending to translate.
I actually thought that was kind of a sweet thing where they're like,
I've done that.
Just kind of like making up the dialogue because they don't understand the language. But then I was thinking, how is he watching Korean TV in New York City? Like I was confused as to like.
Well, in 2011 pre-streaming.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like, what actually is happening here? Does he have like a closed caption to South Korea? Like I don't understand what's happening.
I mean, so growing up in a very diverse place, we obviously had like Univision and like, you know, channels in Spanish.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah. We have Spanish TV stations here.
We would also have channels in like Cantonese and Mandarin.
Okay.
But I don't know that, and New York I assume would as well.
Maybe they do. Yeah. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Like, yeah. Anyway, they fake translate. And then he's like, hey, do you miss school? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, we have classes. We're going to set up a class. And he like wakes up Neil Patrick Harris and is like, hey, we got to do some school stuff tomorrow. Okay, great. They pick a poem that he Googled for like poems to impress girls. And it is Frank O'Hara's I Love Having a Coke with You.
Yeah.
And they like go up to the greenhouse. They're going to have school. But very quickly, they just end up reading the poem to each other. And NPH and Zola peace out. And they're like, yeah, you guys got this. We're going to go hang out downstairs and do whatever we do.
Can I just say this about the poem?
Yes.
It's this poem being read in this movie that made me realize I don't understand poetry. And it's a problem with me, I guess, because I Googled, is this even a real poem? Because it's like, in my opinion, not great. And then it's like a very famous, well-respected, like lauded poem.
Yes.
And I'm fine with that. I'm happy to be wrong. But like, it is a medium I guess my brain doesn't understand.
This does not surprise me about you, but that's okay. I think it was very funny that when they showed the poem in the movie, it's just typed out like an essay and not like a poem.
I mean, that's what a poem looks like, though, Paige.
No.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, sing it? Because then it would be listenable.
Sure, but like, they're usually written in stanzas, not paragraphs. It's like a whole thing.
I know, but this one is actually just like a free-form, like, thought process. Like, it's not like a poem in the sense of, like, nothing rhymes. It's just someone is explaining all of the ways that they like you, kind of, if that makes sense. It's kind of sweet. But it's not a poem, it's a letter. I guess that's my point.
Sure.
Like, I actually love, like, lyrics and poetry and, like, the musicality of language I enjoy a lot. This is a, quote, poem that does none of that.
Here's my question. I mean, I did think it was interesting listening to it. I have been to multiple of the places that they listed out, and I was like, those are all on, like, the French Riviera. This is, like, an interesting choice. But I wonder if part of that is the performance in the movie as opposed to if we heard the poet performing it, it might take on a different meter and cadence.
I'm sure it would, Paige. Yeah, like I'm 100% sure it would. Because they're reading it like they're reading grocery lists back and forth to each other. And that could have been the problem, maybe.
Yes.
But I was like, fuck, I guess I hate poetry because of this movie now.
I mean, I feel like this poem is not done justice in this movie. And I think if we heard the poet performing it, it would probably be different.
I had never heard of the poem. And like, I didn't look it up and read it all. I literally am going by what is in this movie about it. I just looked it up like because I was like, I'm sure this isn't a real poem. And then it was, and I was like, okay.
It's very much a real poem.
I'm putting my phone down because I hate what I just learned about myself.
I am a person who loves poetry. It is an art form that speaks to me greatly, but I also...
Paige, I thought I did too. Same. I thought same. That's why I was so devastated by this movie.
I generally prefer to see poems performed as opposed to just reading them.
Oh yeah, I like concerts too, Paige. I much prefer music to to spoken. Yeah.
I mean like spoken word poetry.
No, I know, but what we're saying is the same thing because lyrics are poetry sung to you.
Yes.
It's all in the performance. I'm not going to go hear somebody read a song, but I'm also like, I would rather hear the poet themselves like speak their words in the way that they heard them in their head as they were writing them than having two angsty idiots read them like a grocery list back and forth to each other.
Yes, they're reading it like a school assignment.
It literally made me hate poetry, I think.
Well, and here's the thing. Again, I love reading poetry. Shakespeare is poetry. Like,
I know. I agree.
But
yeah,
Shakespeare, a lot more fun to watch people performing it with the meter and all the stuff.
Yeah, they kill people and shit in Shakespeare, guys.
I feel like maybe when they shot this, he was seeing the poem for the first time and reading it cold.
Honestly, it sort of does seem like in just this one scene, like he had never, ever heard the English language before, and the director was in his ear with an earpiece, like phonetically talking about how to like say the words. Like it's so poorly performed. Anyway, whatever. I can't talk about it anymore, but I was very upset by it.
It is read like when a teacher says, okay, popcorn, you read next. Like that is how it is read in the movie.
100%. You're like just about to fall asleep and then you get called on in class and you have to read the next stanza. That is what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
But he goes and finds Kendra, president of Witch Club, and is like, hey, I need more time. And she's like, go fuck yourself.
I love how she's like, I can't change magic. Magic is permanent. And like, no, it's not. Like there's all, it's magic. Magic is just the stand-in for things you can't explain and anything's possible because of that.
Right.
So like, you can always change it. But she very much is like, no, this is your problem to solve, dog, which I was fine with. I kind of liked Mary Kate's response here.
He has learned nothing.
Exactly. And will continue to learn nothing.
Yeah. She's like, you don't care about anyone. He's like, no, I care about these other two people I live with. And she's like, all right, well, I'll help them if you succeed.
Right.
But at the same time, I understand that the thing that he wants to help Neil Patrick Harris with is complicated and he outside his realm of ability to solve. Zola?
The other one very much is within his responsibility.
Solvable.
Yeah. 100%.
He can solve it right now.
Yes.
I care about her. Then fucking do something about it. Jeez. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. Maybe fly her kids up for a visit. Because they could certainly visit and put them in one of the other 20 rooms in this apartment no one's using.
Or if they can't visit, fly her there.
That would probably be the cheaper of the two options. But like, he's unlimited funds.
Yeah.
And like, if he doesn't want to like disrupt his daily life, he could always just have her kids come I don't know. And a husband. It is all crazy to me. It's crazy.
It is bonkers. Anyway, we cut to, he brings a bunch of CDs up to Vanessa Hudgens because that's how old this movie is. And she admits that she had a crush on Alex, basically him pre-witch.
Yeah, when he was going by the name Kyle.
Right, Kyle. Sorry, Alex Pettifer, but Kyle.
Well, yeah, but I was just saying that because there is a delineation, right? Because he's either Kyle or Hunter in beast mode, right? Yeah.
And so he's like, come somewhere with me, and takes her to the zoo. And they're like acting like they can hear what's happening in other rooms of the zoo. And it's almost like he's trying to trick her into saying, I love you.
Paige.
Like as if that will undo the spell.
That's 100% what he's trying to do. And also, do you remember how easy it was to break into zoos back in 2011? Like,
no.
Paige, this was like pre-Harambe. Like, it was like so easy to break into zoos. It was never easy to break into zoos, Paige. It's just crazy that they clearly break into the zoo. It's night. Nobody's around.
No, there's not a security guard in sight.
It's clearly they broke it. It's so funny to me. Anyway.
It's bonkers. And we also have now seen, so like he brings her home. They're like counting the street lights going out until sunrise. He carries her to bed. The score, like the song playing during this is so crazy because if you watch it with subtitles, you'll see that the lyrics are kissing your wet lips. What?
Tell me more.
And then we're having a naked swimming race. And I'm like, what is this song? Like, what is this?
It sounds like a summer camp based theme porn is what it sounds like. Or a joke soundtrack for like a wet hot American summer type thing.
Every song in this movie sounds kind of like we have My Chemical Romance at home.
Right.
Like that. Like people who did not quite crack onto Warped Tour, but are like close. Anyway, we find out that it's a week to her Machu Picchu trip. She's just been straight up missing from school for months. He's been missing a whole year. No one has questioned it.
Paige, I'd argue if your school was going to Machu Picchu and you had stopped going there 6 months ago or 3 months ago in her case or whatever it is,
right,
you would no longer be going on that school trip.
Right.
You wouldn't. They wouldn't allow it because you've been missing for 3 months.
Right.
The police would like a word.
Well, and he's like, what do I do? Do I let her go to Machu Picchu? And I'm like, oh my God, what is it? And they're like, take her to the lake house to convince her. They go to the lake house. They're there for all of an hour.
Yeah.
And she's basically just like, yeah, I mean, I didn't really care that it was Machu Picchu. I just needed to get away for a while.
Yeah.
Just away from my dad and everything.
It actually, this is actually one of those, nuanced things where she's like, yeah, I miss my friends and family, but, I realized that I was in the cycle with my dad where I was always fixing the things that he was getting into through his addiction, right?
Right.
And so, I was, in a way, enabling his behavior through my protective nature.
Right.
And so, it took me being separated from being even be able to do that for me to see that I was doing that and realize I need to stop that cycle. And so, it is this, really interesting, nuanced conversation that they very much fumble.
Yeah, and don't really have. Yeah.
At all. But, she is saying the words that make that point. It's just worded very strange. Anyway.
Yeah. But she gets a text that says that the other guy, the drug dealer, the brother, has been arrested. And he's like, come home, you're safe. And she just deletes it. She's like, I ain't coming home. I live in a palace, basically.
Yeah, she's like, F you, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm leaving you like Mom did. Oh, wait, no, that was the other mom. Sorry, her mom died. Sorry. Yeah, never mind.
Right. Her mom died. His mom ran away.
Yeah.
But at this point, she says, it's almost like this cage set me free. And I was like, no!
That's the line where that's the speech where I was talking about.
Yes,
because she's saying all the wrong words, but I see what she means.
I see what they're trying to get at, but they are not saying it. And he gives her the pile of letters he's been writing this whole time. She falls, he catches her, they're about to kiss, her phone rings, her dad's in the hospital. He is OD'd in the hour since he sent her that text message.
Yeah.
That she did not respond to. She might have just been busy.
That text message was a cry for help, Paige, and she did not realize it.
I guess.
Because it didn't at all sound like it was all informational. He was like, hey, this guy's been arrested, so you can come home if you want.
You can come home if you want.
By the way, I bought an 8-ball to celebrate. There's none of that stuff in there.
No. And so he drives her to the train. She gets on the train and he's like, wait, don't read the letters. Cause she's like, you're such a great friend. And he's like, no.
Brutal.
Crumbled into incel pile.
Yeah, but I do think that he is just being a friend up until this point. He has not made his intentions known.
Thank you.
Because when he makes his intentions known, which he already did, she just hasn't read it yet.
Right.
Right? Because he's already given her the letters. He gave it to her at the lake house.
Right.
And so she starts reading it and he is afraid that oh God, she just sees me as a friend and I'm going to fucking ruin her night with all of that shit.
Right.
And she should be focused on her dad or whatever. And what she just didn't know that he loved her.
Right. Yeah, she just didn't know.
And the whole you're such a good friend is so accurate to what he's doing for her, you know?
Yeah.
He rushes her to the train station, is like, here, go see your dad. I release you of any obligation to me. That is the scene they're playing off of in Beauty and the Beast, right?
Right.
So I get it, but I also kind of like that he assumes it's going to go badly and it doesn't.
Right.
I wish the movie handled it better because I do think the friend zone thing is made up. It's such a dumb concept because it's either they just don't like you like that and you need to be okay with that.
Right.
Or they have no idea you like them like that and might like you like that. And you're just not being vulnerable with yourself and telling them that.
I feel like there are so many times in my life where if I could go back and if I had just been vocal about things that I wanted or things I was interested in, I probably would have found that a lot more people liked me than I thought.
Yes.
But this is hindsight 2020, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I did shit like this too when I was a kid. I've been there. I've been that guy. I get it. But I've learned a lot growing up because of this. Yeah.
We come back and the things in the greenhouse are all dead even though it's spring. We've seen this greenhouse bloom and die twice, which would imply it's been 2 years, but it's only been the one. The movie just likes to kill things in the background.
Paige, I understand that this movie does call that building a greenhouse and wants you to think it's a greenhouse.
Right.
It is not a greenhouse.
No.
It is just a structure he put up that has big buckets that are full of roses like you're at a farmer's market.
Right.
So like the reason we're seeing the roses bloom and die is because they've already been cut, purchased at a Kroger's and thrown in this bucket. So like it looks like it's a rose garden.
Right.
But it's not. So they're just like every 2 weeks having to replace the roses.
Which he could have just spent the money to send Zola back to see her family, but whatever.
No, Zola, we can't afford it. We have to spend $80,000 on roses.
The rose budget's too high. Anyway, she reads the letters and she starts calling him and he won't call her back. This is taking himself out of the equation before he even finds out what she has to say. But he finally goes and confronts her at school the day the Machu Picchu bus is leaving. And can we talk about the fact that I'm sure what they mean is that it's a bus to the airport?
Nope. The announcer fully thinks they're getting on the bus and driving it to Machu Picchu. Yeah, that drove me insane too. But I'm like explaining it away as like, okay, that's just Kathy. She's just reading whatever someone wrote for her on the announcement. She has no idea what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like someone who lives in the office most of their life and like doesn't know the context.
I'm looking up how long of a drive that would be.
To Machu Picchu? Can you drive to Machu Picchu from here?
You can't drive directly to Machu Picchu.
Exactly.
It's a remote site accessible primarily by train or by hiking the Inca Trail after reaching Aguas Calientes. You can drive to Ollantaytambo in the Sacred Valley and then take the train to Aguas Frescas, which is the closest town to Machu Picchu. So let's map that out. Driving from New York to Peru by car is not a feasible or recommended option. The distance is thousands of miles and involves crossing international borders and navigating challenging terrain. It is much more practical to fly, but the direct distance is over 4,000 miles. So it would take you longer to drive to Machu Picchu than it would take you to drive across America.
Yeah, you wouldn't do this.
But hey, they're going by bus. Good for them.
They're definitely getting in a bus, going to LaGuardia and flying to like, probably not Machu Picchu, but somewhere close by, taking that train or whatever.
Yes.
But the announcer fully is, the bus to Machu Picchu is leaving in 5 minutes. Bus to Machu Picchu, 5 minutes. Like they're at a Greyhound station that has just a warp like access to Machu Picchu.
Right. And it's just at school too, because he just showed up at school. But he shows up and he does this whole speech of like, I know that you're not the kind of person that would abandon me because of the way I look. I was like, maybe let her say that. But like, whatever. He just is talking for her this whole time.
Yeah.
But she basically is like, she walks over and kisses him and is like, I love you. And he's like, great. And he goes to leave and he changes almost immediately, but she walked away. So she didn't see it. She like walks away and then turns around and is like, the love, you take it with you. And then keeps walking. And then he changes.
It's so funny to me that like she doesn't say I love you when she's like right close to him where they could like kiss maybe or like whatever. She like turns around, walks away and then says it. And then he just like walks outside. He's like, cool, thanks. I'll see you later. And walks outside and changes where she can't see him change.
Right.
And then comes outside like, oh, hey, Kyle, weird. I haven't seen you in forever. Hey, did you see a hot version of you? But like, but
with
looks
tattoos.
like they're like, with like tattoos or whatever.
Little Darth Vader face action. Yeah.
And then she has to like get right in his face and like, oh, there you are, Peter, or whatever. You know, like it's so silly.
Yeah. And call his phone.
Oh, yeah. The phone thing.
Be like, I expected you to look like Michael Bolton. But anyway, he's like, can you imagine a love that transcends like beauty? And it's like,
can you? Because I don't think you can still.
I don't think you can.
You're hoping that she can.
Right. We then cut back to the apartment where Neil Patrick Harris can now see and magically green cards have appeared for Zola's entire family.
I did think it was awesome that like it was like pop and they had green cards already.
Yeah,
like it was like truly magic. It wasn't like, hey, the immigration office called. We have an appointment for whatever. It was like, no, we're done. We got it.
You got the physical one.
Yeah. It almost like Paige, it would have been like the same beat if it was just like her kids and her husband showed up.
Appearing at the house.
And like they didn't know why she thought it was weird. They were already there. You know?
Right.
Like we've been here for the whole 5 years, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like the same level of crazy. Yeah, it's like so far down the page of fixing that problem. It made me laugh so hard. Yeah.
But she and Kyle go to Machu Picchu together. And that's the movie.
And hopefully they flew instead of taking that bus. But Paige, having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what did you think about Beastly?
Oh, man. I mean, it's bad in hilarious ways.
Yes, agreed.
Now, here's the other thing. I know that among our listenership, there are a number of millennials where this was like as much as clearly Beautician and the Beast shaped my sexuality, I'm sure there are people that have attachments to this movie. I hope you can see them through 2025 adult eyes to understand how bonkers this movie is.
Wait, do people like this? Are there people out there who are like, no, this is a good movie?
Oh, yeah. This was requested a lot. I don't think because it was good. I think in the same way that Twilight is, where it's like, we know it's bad.
I figured it was that too. And listen, if you like this movie and think it's like high art, good for you.
Right.
I wish I could see it through those lenses. I don't see it that way. But I do think it's worth watching in an insane way because everyone's just making the wrong choice.
Yes.
And it's like fun because of that.
Yes.
But Paige, do you have any fun facts for us?
I do.
Well, it is with your fun facts.
Beastly fun facts. Now, this first one, I think, might be a corn fact because of the performance that we have discussed in this episode. But allegedly, Neil Patrick Harris wore opaque contact lenses so he could not see when they were filming.
Sure.
That seems unlikely to me.
Yeah, very.
Very. Now, in this movie, and in most Beauty and the Beast retellings, Beauty's name usually translates to Beauty, like Belle. In this one, her name is Lindy, which is a variation on the name Linda, which is the Spanish and Portuguese name for pretty.
Okay.
So, there you go. This is Mary-Kate Olsen's last acting role before retiring from acting, hopefully to throw herself into her presidency for Witch Club.
Honestly, the duties are pretty rigorous. Like, I get it. I'm sure she has a very busy schedule with that.
Yep. Alex Pettyfer shaved his head completely for this role and underwent 5 hours of prosthetics makeup work each day.
Man, that is so crazy.
That's a lot.
Like, that's such a level of commitment. Like, I have so much respect for that level. Like,
sure.
Because that's like a Ron Perlman kind of level, like to commit to that.
Yes.
I'm sure Beast or Beauty and the Beast, because his prosthetics in that were nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it was longer, but still, that's like an everyday thing for weeks of your life.
He also insisted on, quote, remaining in character and makeup offset during the shoot as an experimental exercise to see how outsiders would react when he would, like, go to just the grocery store in the Montreal neighborhoods where they shot.
He was just walking around the grocery store looking at fat people like, gross, am I right?
Fucking gross.
Is that what he was doing? Like, good God.
No, I think he was like, this is how people treat ugly people. Like when Tyra Banks put on that fat suit.
Oh, God.
But here's something even crazier that I noticed last night when watching it and Googled ahead of time. And I've been holding on to this for the entire episode. Did you get a good look at his eyebrows when he was in the costume?
No.
Okay.
Oh, God.
If you did, and if you're watching this movie, you may notice that his eyebrows, when he is Hunter, are just Arabic. They're just written, they're words or phrases in Arabic.
Oh, God.
Just written there. And they allegedly loosely translate to embrace on one side and suck on the other.
Oh, my God. I kind of love that.
Because at first I was like, did they just put Arabic on his eyebrows? What's going on? And so I just Googled beastly Alex Pettyfer eyebrows ? And then they were like, it's in Arabic and it says this. And I was like, holy crap.
Not since the movie Hook has more intention been placed into someone's eyebrows. And I respect it, Paige.
Yes. Now, this movie was originally supposed to come out in 2010. However, it was pushed back several months to avoid competing with a movie that we have done on this podcast that is also bonkers and bad, and that is Charlie St. Cloud.
What? Of course. Yeah.
Because that was Zac Efron's movie, and he and Vanessa Hudgens were still dating at the time. However, the pushback is thought to have contributed to the poor box office turnout for this movie. 2010 would have kept it closer to the original release of the book. And so the pushback, they think, potentially reduced the amount of people who saw it.
Okay.
In the novel, Kyle is more animal-like, kind of like the original fairy tale. And that's part of why his father hires a tutor who can't see, because he was the only tutor that would agree to teach him after seeing his deformity. So it's like He truly cannot go outside. Like, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Now, originally, Mary-Kate Olsen was not Kendra, the president of the Witch Club. The role was originally offered to Lindsay Lohan, but she turned it down.
Good call, Lindsay, but I kind of love it.
I think Mary-Kate did great. President of the Witch Club.
Me too. Yeah.
The producers released a statement at the time that they were seeking a teen actor in the vein of Robert Pattinson for the role of Kyle. They were trying to pull a Twilight. They also talked to Zac Efron to see if he could play Kyle and have it be kind of a like extension of High School Musical. Ultimately, they went with Alex Pettyfer, which is fine. I mean, the movie doesn't give him much to do, so like,
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, scheduling conflicts, and I assume her presidency of Witch Club, prevented Mary-Kate Olsen from appearing in the conference scenes where Kyle is campaigning for student body president. So instead of rescheduling the shoot and bringing back the same extras, she was green screened into the footage.
What?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yep. When Neil Patrick Harris's character arrives at Kyle's brownstone, as he walks in, if you look to the left, there is a clock and a candelabra on the table behind Kyle. It's thought that this is a reference to Cogsworth and Lumiere from Disney's Beauty and the Beast.
It's got to be.
And Regina King was included in promotional material as part of the cast, but her scenes were ultimately completely cut.
What?
Yes. There are also stories that say that this film's release was potentially delayed by the 2007-2008 WGA strike, which was like literally while I was in film school. That it was a wild time. So that might have changed rewrites. But for Regina King to be completely cut out of the movie, that actually, I think, explains a lot of things for me, because this movie is so choppy that scene to scene, it doesn't always make sense. And it's literally just under 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you told me that there was like 15 to 20 more minutes of this movie, even just in small scenes in between things, I'd believe you, because this movie does not really make sense as is. And I don't know, but we'll end on two things. One, CBS, because this is a CBS movie, bought the rights to Alex Flynn's novel when it first came out in 2007. So literally like right as it came out. And that 5 hours of makeup that Alex Pettyfer went through comprised of 67 different prosthetic pieces. 7 of them were on his head. The rest were on his body. And it took 5 to 7 hours to apply and remove it every day.
Oof.
And those are your fun facts.
Thank you so much for those fun facts, Paige. Let's talk a little bit about box office. So what do you think the production budget was for Beastly in 2011?
I think this actually was probably expensive, and they were banking on it making money because High School Musical had done so well, and it is Vanessa Hudgens, and they've got Alex Pettyfer pre-Magic Mike, and so I think they thought they had like a new hottie and a new movie on their hands. So I'm going to say they probably spent $25 million on this.
They spent a little bit less, but still I think too much. And that was $17 million.
This looks good for $17 million, except for the end where the buildings are too small.
Yeah, I do think it does look good though. There, at the very end, when someone's walking like all the way back in the foreground, they look like a giant walking across the street.
Yes.
It's very funny, but that's like the only time I think it looks bad. The movie premiered on May 4th, 2011. It was third the week it came out. It was beat by the number 1 movie, Rango. Number 2 was The Adjustment Bureau. Number 3 was obviously Beastly. Number 4 was Hall Pass. And number 5 was Romeo and Juliet. Paige, what do you think Beastly made in its opening weekend?
I'm going to say $6 million.
It did a little bit better. It made $9.8 million in its opening weekend. And Paige, it was in theaters for 11 weeks. It was 6th in its second week, 3rd in its 9th week, but was never again in the top 10. But again, it was in theaters for 11 weeks. So what do you think it made domestically at the box office?
Domestically, I know this didn't do well, so I'm going to guess it doesn't 2x. So at 9, I'm going to say maybe this makes $18 million total.
Yeah, it actually made $27.8 million, Paige. So it did make money, even domestically, but internationally it also brought in another 10.1. So worldwide it actually brought in $38 million.
So it barely 2x'd, essentially.
Well, I mean, yeah, it cost 17, made 21 more than that. In $38 million. So yeah, but if you adjust for inflation, that's roughly $54.6 million today. I'm sure they were hoping for more of a Twilight type success.
Sure.
And this is not even that good. So like, I'm not shocked by it, but it did make money. So it was a successful movie. But that is your box office. Paige, you want to hit us with that romance scale?
Sure. Our romance scale is how romantic we found the movie today. On a scale of 1 to 4, Todd, where are you putting it?
Definitely a 1. It's not romantic at all.
Yeah, if I could give less than 1, I would. And also less than 1 on the roar scale.
Although there are some wolf growls. But yeah, 1 for me on the war scale too.
I feel like we're going to get more wolf growls next week, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so to that end, Paige, what are you making us watch next week as we complete Beauty and the Beast theme month?
Next week, we are watching Your Monster, which was recommended to us both for this and Horror Virgin. It came out in 2024. It is streamable, and they cast some other dude instead of my husband, and I don't know why they did that, but we'll have fun watching it. It's Your Monster.
So that's your homework for next week, guys. Watch Your Monster.
Hey, Todd, do you have any reviews for us?
I do. This week, I'm going to read one of our most recent Spotify comments, which was on our The Beautician and the Beast episode. I'll go ahead and read Claire's.
Okay.
Claire says, Paige's Fran Drescher impression is uncanny. And I agree 100%. I listened back to that episode and I was like, good God, she is like spot on with this impression.
Dad, do you own a stationery store? I love cards.
So Claire, thank you so much for that comment. And yeah, if you want to have me read your Spotify comment or a 5-star Apple review, leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So yeah, if you guys like this show and want to hear our other show where we talk about horror movies, that is The Horror Virgin. That's the only other podcast I am on, but Paige is also on Cult Podcast, which you can find at Cult Podcast. And you can find us on social media. I am at Todd J. Awesome, literally everywhere. Paige is at Paige Wesley on Instagram.
No, it's at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok, at Paige Wesley on Twitter.
That's right. All right. So that's where you can find Paige. If you want to find the show, we are at Romancing the Pod Show, right?
Yep. Romancing Pod Show on Twitter.
Well, and Instagram, right?
And Instagram, but it's show SHO because character limits. If you start typing Romancing the Pod, it'll come up.
It'll definitely come up on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter because I haven't posted on Twitter in a hot ass minute. So like, who knows? But that is where you can find more of us. So yeah, guys, give us a follow. Support the show any way you can. We'd love it.
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to be it for us. You guys, I'm Paige.
And I'm Todd.
And you complete us.
I am no more Pletian. Bye. This movie's a fun hot mess, nerds.